The story of the youth who went forth to learn what fear was. Adapted from the tale by Jacob and Willem Grimm. Once upon a time there were two boys. One lad who was smart and sensible, and upon coming of age chose a profession, and one who was dumb as a rock, who decided upon coming of age that he should learn to shudder, for surely if he knew that, he would be set for life. A sexton of a church, learning that this is what the boy wanted, told his father he would give the boy a job, and if all the boy wanted was to feel fear, the sexton would show him. So late one night, when the sexton told the boy to go up and ring the bell, he came up behind him, dressed as a ghost. The boy was not afraid, however, and just came up to the ghost, demanding an explanation. When the sexton did not answer, the boy pushed the sexton down the stairs. The boy was fired for pushing the sexton down the steps, but the boy was not worried. He was sure that if he just learned to shudder, he would be set. And so, he was convinced by a con man to sleep next to 7 men who hung in a gallows. The boy slept in the gallows, building a fire to keep warm. But seeing the 7 men who were hanging there with him, became convinced they were cold. And so he cut them down so they could be warm by the fire next to him. When the men did not thank the boy for the fire and the warmth, he became annoyed and simply hung them up again, thinking they were rude. The boy, the youth, then found a wagoner, thinking perhaps this man might teach the boy fear. The wagoner told him that there was a haunted castle, and there was a reward for staying there and surviving for 3 nights. The boy talked to the king and learned that if he proved his merit and survived 3 nights, he would win great riches along with a wife. The youth took on the challenge, and he was allowed 3 things, and so he took with him a knife, a lathe, and fire. The first night he heard 2 voices, but thought they were dumb for not joining him by the fire. Later, black cats appeared out of the shadows of the castle, followed by great big dogs. They wanted at first to play cards, but soon surrounded him, attacked the boy, who fought them off with his knife. The boy was tired and wanted to go to sleep, but when he tried to get in his bed, it ran off. He chased it and chased it, but it was too fast. After some time, the boy gave up and just slept by the fire. The second night, a set of legs appeared down the fireplace. The youth, without fear, asked the legs where the top was. It was then that a skull fell down the chimney. The boy picked it up and asked for more legs so he could go bowling with the skull. 9 more legs fell down the chimney, and the boy shaped the skull with his lathe, making a perfectly round ball to bowl with. On the 3rd night, the youth heard a strange noise. 6 men entered the castle, carrying a coffin. He opened the coffin and saw someone jump out, who looked just like him. The youth assumed the man was his cousin, so he took his cousin by the fire to warm him. But the cousin tried to kill him. So the boy just shut the lid on the coffin with the other inside. Later that night, an old man appeared threatening to kill the youth. The youth said he would not be killed unless the old man proved himself in a feat of strength. The old man agreed, and they walked down the hall and played a game of strength. The old man hit an anvil with a hammer so hard the anvil was struck to the ground. The boy, however, hit the anvil even harder, and it split in half. The youth insisted on a reward, but the old man did not budge. So the youth beat him until he learned where the treasure of the castle was. And later on, the youth, having survived 3 nights in the haunted castle, was married to a wealthy princess. But the youth was still unhappy because he never learned how to shudder. He obsessed over this, driving his poor wife crazy. So one night his wife, fed up with him, poured a bucket of cold water filled with fishes onto him. The boy shuddered at last. But he was not relieved at all, because although he shuddered, he did not feel fear. And all the rest of his days, he complained and never connected the dots between anything, to the great annoyance of everyone around him, especially his wife.